Welcome back to Asked a Whaler, where we ask the big questions nonprofits are facing. Today, we're talking about fundraising. Once September hits, many nonprofits start to feel the pressure of end of year giving. And here to unpack this and share how nonprofits can build a healthier fundraising pipeline is expert whaler Megan Anhalt. So, Megan, why is this end of year period such a pressure cooker for nonprofits?
Well, nonprofits know that most giving happens at the end of the year, really between Giving Tuesday through to the last 3 days of the year, which are really big giving days for a lot of nonprofits. But we know that that's not the full story, right? If you're not thinking strategically about how you are building and competing for donor attention the other days of the year, you might be in trouble. Donors move on, credit cards can expire, interests shift. And if you're only thinking about the same loyal group year after year, then a lot of nonprofits start to see their base shrinking. And that's what we call the leaky bucket problem. And it can create a lot of stress for nonprofit fundraisers.
Okay, got it. So, how do nonprofits fix that leak?
Well, they really have to start thinking full funnel instead of only focusing on those ready to give donors in November and December. You really need to be thinking about how you are nurturing people through every stage of their journey, how you're reaching people who might just be becoming aware of your organization, how you're converting that attention and that awareness into interest in your cause, and how you're moving that interest into engagement and ultimately commitment. Funnel strategy really makes sure that you are meeting people where they are, not just when you're ready to ask them to give.
Got it. That sounds more sustainable, but how does full funnel fundraising actually change the way nonprofits and organizations approach their giving?
It's really just about shifting the focus from short-term urgency to long-term relationship building. It's not saying that you need to stop doing, urgent appeals, like those work, keep doing those. But it's really just about thinking about all stages of the funnel. So, for example, top of funnel might look like creating and sharing content that introduces new audiences to your mission. And middle funnel could be about asking people to sign up for your email list, where you can continue to share value and stories that deepen their interest and engagement. And bottom funnel is really where you start to make direct asks that let them be a part of your impact, which can include fundraising appeals. And so when all three work together, you're really planting seeds year round and reaping more consistent fundraising results.
Okay, I really like that framework. Do you have an example of this in the real world?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's say you're a lung cancer organization and you have a section of your website where maybe you're sharing first person stories of people living with lung cancer. The people interested in that content, they probably have some connection to lung cancer, maybe a family member who is going through it. And they like what they see. And maybe you ask them to sign up for your email list via a pop up on your website. And so they sign up for more relevant content. And then while subscribed, they're learning about your impact and your mission, and they find out that you have a podcast talking to experts in the lung cancer field and other people who are living with lung cancer, and they become a regular listener. Then, when Lung Cancer Awareness Month comes around, which happens to be in November, you ask them to be a part of that life-saving work, and boom, you have a new donor. Now, imagine if you didn't do that. You didn't think about how you were intentionally growing and nurturing new audience relationships in the way that you did with that person, and really thinking about how you're moving them towards giving in the earlier months of the year, then you could have missed out on a donor like that.
Right. So instead of chasing those one time donor moments, you're building a pipeline of supporters who stay with you.
Exactly. And the organizations that win are the ones who keep testing new messages and content. They're optimizing every stage of their funnel and really thinking beyond December and end of year.
Okay, great. So, bottom line, what's the key takeaway for nonprofits listening in?
I would say the key takeaway is don't put all of your eggs in the year end basket. Build a full funnel fundraising strategy that allows you to grow awareness, nurture interest, and drive commitment all year long. And that's how you can make fundraising more resilient, predictable, and scalable, and a lot less stressful.
Well said. Thank you, Megan. And if you all listening want to dive deeper, make sure to check out our blog post, Why You Need a Full Funnel Fundraising Strategy. We'll link it in the description. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you again next time on Ask a Whaler.